What's up, Josh? Everybody say hi to these guys.
So, hello.
That is Luis over there. Luis, you're from Daytona Beach, right?
Sir.
Spencer, he is currently residing in Philadelphia, PA, right?
That's right.
It's Dougie Fresh. Doug Smith resides in Cincinnati.
Hello.
Let me show you the ocean. Let me record. I guess I should actually record this because that was my game plan. Okay, we are recording. Cool. So I'll give you a quick tour where we're at because I think this is going to lead into what this webinar is about. So we are in Atlantic Beach, Florida. It's actually freaking cold, a little chilly. The beach is down here. Let me hold my, kind of see the beach. There's our rental van. We got between two houses, I think 19 of us, little patio. We are here for the ROI Experts Agency Mastermind. This is number one of, what do we got? We got one in Vegas for a day. We got California. We'll hit California again in the summer. We'll do Cincinnati in July. Then we'll do in the fall with Mini Chat in San Diego. So I'm 1 of 5 this year, if my math is right. Take you up to the top of the house. I don't know, laundry room. Won't be using that. I can't even use it at home. It's Doug's room. It's my room. I actually have a bed this time. In one of the last two masterminds, I've miscounted in the house. Maybe see the ocean up here. No, I still can't see it. Miscounted in the house and ended up sleeping on an air mattress because I didn't want anybody else to suffer. So I was in there. Nice big master bathroom. Then there's on the first floor, there's 5 bedrooms. So I think in this house, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think there's 10 or 11 of us in this house. I can't remember the exact math. They're not all here. There, a couple of them are at the other house, which is a couple blocks away. A couple of them are at the airport. A little trundle. More bedrooms downstairs. Is this the one with the bunk beds? Or is that the other house? That's the other one. I can't remember. Okay. So you obviously didn't come to the webinar to hear me talk about a mastermind down here in this house, but what we're actually going to talk about today ties in well with this event because it's part of what we're talking about the next couple of days. We've got this, tonight's just kind of chill night, and then tomorrow we're going to just hang out and talk business. There'll be, like I said, 10, 15, 20 of us at this place at any time talking business. Tomorrow night, we're kicking the mastermind off where I'm going to go in depth with some things I've learned. And then Wednesday, we are all day long, 9 a.m. to about 6:30 p.m., talking very specific schedule of things. Some things I'm going to go over today, but a lot more in depth. Then we're going to dinner at a pizza restaurant that I just signed up, which, by the way, Spencer, you're going to line up your pizza guy for tomorrow night? Yeah. That'll be pizza 2 nights in a row. I guess we'll go with pizza 2 nights in a row. And then Thursday, carbs. And Thursday, we've got Chris Patterson, who's I'm co-hosting the event with. He's taking over that day. I'm speaking then as well. And we've got Michael Chandler, who's an MMA guy coming in, fights for Bellator. Is Bellator MMA? Same thing, right? Okay. What is the other one? UFC, because MMA is the fighting style, UFC, Bellator. And then there's like 3 or 4 other people coming in. So what are we going to talk about today? So let me get my screen shared here and get rid of my ugly mug. Okay, we got that. Can you all see my screen? Yell at me in the chat if you can see it okay before I turn it into a slideshow. You're going to see it's pretty simple. It's a 4-slide PowerPoint. It's nothing crazy. Yep, you can see it. Cool. Oh, Pittsburgh in the house. Michael McGreevy, my bad. I know Pittsburgh pretty well. I used to go up there all the time. Okay, so let me turn my camera off. Okay, so we got that. We're recording, got the PowerPoint going. Let's hit the slideshow. Let's talk about today's webinar. So today's webinar came about because of people that I saw not progressing the manner that they should have through the ROI Engine local agency program. And if you're not familiar with that program is, it's a very in-depth way to build your agency. Spencer, Here, come here, Spencer. So you'll sit here. You've been in the program. Actually, you know what? Let me stop this real quick and have Spencer. There we go. So you've been in the program for how long?
A year.
Dude, you look really tall. I don't think you're actually that tall, though. So from a standpoint of how the program impacted you from, I guess, maybe being able to not cut corners, but shortcuts and learn things quicker and get advantages in the business, has it helped you?
Yeah, without question. I mean, our whole business was built on program. So we were working with dentists for a while. There's no like path to working with dentists. It's just lead gen, obviously.
Yep.
And this kind of wrote out a whole thing for us step by step. We went from 0 to obviously 6 figures in our first year, which was very, very good. So everything's going well.
Cool. And the guidance, the community, the mentorship, all that stuff?
Yeah, I think it's like Doug always says, the community is one of the best parts of the program. Everybody's here to help each other, even though we're quote unquote competing, but not really. There's 3 people that come in from my area, literally a 20-mile radius of where I live, and I will never run into them.
That's funny. Okay, cool. So that gives you a quick little, let me go back to sharing my screen, a little bit about the impact it can have. And it's pretty cool because like I was telling Luis, he's here. He's met me through Billy Gina's marketing. That's how I got into coaching agencies, is that back in 2016 when I met Billy Jean through a flash drive, went to his office, went to their program. I was just there to figure out how to take the next step of my agency. My agency was at a point where we were doing probably on a bad month, 25, on a good month, 35 to 40. A lot of consistent revenue, all retainer based, but it was all one-off solution based. Hold up. What is the Paul Williams said, hey, what is the meeting ID access? Well, if you're on the webinar, just use the same exact link and register with a different email. And there's also a recording, Paul. So when I found Billy, I had an established agency. The problem was I had myself and Ashley, who's a rock star, by the way. And it was basically me running the show and her picking up what I needed help with. And it wasn't organized. It wasn't structured. Clients loved us, but we ran ragged, man. I was married to the business. And I think if any of you have followed me, you'll see that I'm not married to the business anymore. Was I married to the business last year, Doug?
No.
172 days, I think, was my number. I traveled last year all over the place. And I'm not saying that as a bragging point. I'm saying that from a standpoint that 4 years ago, I could not have left Cincinnati and went to this mastermind in Florida and not been married to my computer answering emails and fixing stuff on clients' websites and phone calls and text messages and who knows, fax machines probably back then. And that was the turning point with Billy, was when I found through Billy's programs, I started to understand and see how I could do things differently, how I could start, offering certain things to clients that were repeatable across other clients. And I had never done that before, because at one point we had 34 clients from 31 industries, and not one of them bought a specific program. Yes, we did social media management for them. We did email marketing for them, but everything was one off, and it was tough. And so that was a huge headache that we ran into. Hey, Doug, will you go downstairs? My buddy Jordan's downstairs.
I'll do it.
Come on up. Let me hold on a second. The white van is where we are, the big long passenger one.
Along with 6 on the road.
Oh yeah, there are 6 more on the road. There's bands everywhere. So I had got an agency that owned me. Now I made good money, not bitching. Made good money. Things went well with the business. Clients loved this. We had great retention, but it was a 50-week out of 52-week per year job. When I went on vacation, I was still inundated. I didn't have a business built that would allow me to be gone, to be absentee, to not be focused on it all the time. And so that's what led me down this path. And when I met Billy and team, it not only taught me systems and procedures, but it taught me a whole different path. Give me 1 second. Let me say hi to my boy who showed up bringing your dinner. Jay Flay!
What's up, brother?
Hey, you're live on a webinar, so I hope you're not naked.
I'm not.
What's up, man? This guy left us in Cincinnati and came to Jacksonville. It's bullshit. I think Trump needs to build a wall in Florida. Hey, there's probably beer here, too.
I'm good.
You good? Need to build a wall so you have to come back home. You look good, though.
Thank you.
Nice and tan. It's
Yeah.
bullshit. Okay, so back to the webinar. Sorry, people. I had to say hi to my boy. So when I met Billy, he showed me a path of building my business differently and not around myself. And like I said, last year traveling 172 days and 5 years ago traveling 14 days. And hell, last year was great. I barely worked when I traveled. I had a couple hours a day where I would knock stuff out. The team would handle it because we built things right. And along that process, when Billy asked me to start coaching agencies, I didn't know what to expect. It was a favor. And actually, a couple of the agencies I started coaching first off are killing it, are just doing big things. And what was that noise? Did you hear that? Oh, I thought you were dying up here. You all right? Have to check, make sure Luis is okay. And when I started coaching agencies, I took for granted the knowledge that I had. And I, had been doing this for, at that point, whatever the math is, 8, 9, 10 years. And it was fun. It was fun meeting guys like Spencer, and it's fun meeting, all the people that are down here, this weekend, like Sean and Michelle and Deanna, or Dina. I always call her Deanna, Dina. And understanding the journey they're on and how easy I had it. The reason I say I had it easy was I was brought up in a family of entrepreneurs. I was brought up by a dad that's a salesperson. I was fortunate with Doug Smith to cut my teeth selling radio advertising for 4 years at a very high level and getting to learn the business. And I think a lot of the things I grew my agency with just came naturally. And so when I started coaching agencies, and then like I was telling Luis back in the spring of 2018, when I wrote my book on 86 restaurant sales, the goal was to do a webinar that 20 to 25 restaurants would sign up for, maybe a couple agencies who I knew who told me they were interested. And Billy Jean and I worked on the webinar. He was coaching me one-on-one at that point. And which, by the way, if you ever get a chance to go a coach one-to-one with somebody at that level or anybody that's above you, do it. It's a major impact on my business. And at that point, when I did this webinar, Billy and I thought, okay, we'll get like 20 or 25 people buy the program. We'll have 100 registrations. We'll have 40 show up, and we'll have half of them buy the program. Most of them be restaurants. Well, lo and behold, half of them didn't buy it, more than did. We had 70 something show up. We had 56 people buy it, of which 54 were agencies, which really kind of screwed me up for a month or two because I didn't know what to do, because here I am training, my enemy Spencer over there in the agency business, which you would think your enemies, you're not. That's a big world. There's could probably be 100 Matt Plaps in Cincinnati and not be of an issue. But I had never trained in my mind people to do what I did. And so that's what the process started. That's where the becoming an ROI expert journey started. I started a private group, which most of you are probably in, called Building a Scalable Agency, Becoming an ROI Expert. I built that for Billy because I was coaching their students. And they wanted us to go see what I was doing. So I would record it or go live in there. Then from there, I created a membership site called Becoming an ROI Expert. And the reason I created the membership site was I got tired of repeating the same crap over and over. And so when somebody would say, hey, Matt, what do you think about, this type of thing? Or how do I land a client? Or how do I present to a client? How do I get a contract signed? Whatever. I built a membership site just as a free thing. Say, hey, go here. Here's where it is. And so that led me to this point where here I am, 2 years later, probably trained upwards of 300 agencies since then. We altered the ROI Engine local agency program back in the fall to a done-for-you model. We raised the price. We're raising the price again February 1st up to above $3,000 up front, and then $199 a month. Right now it's at $2,250 up front and $99 a month. And the reason we did that was we added so much more to it, and we made it turnkey because I saw agencies coming into the program, and there were 4 basic parts of the program. Number 1, finding clients. Number 2, marketing your agency. Number 3, building the systems behind it. And number 4, the programs you sell. One of the biggest things I kept having problems with people telling me the ROI Engine was, hey, I had a guy say, oh, Matt, I haven't went out and really sent a whole lot of emails out because my email address has my website address on it. My website's not done. I don't want people going to my website. And I'm like, that's why you're not sending people emails. And I had another person tell me, Hey, I haven't went door to door and knocked on doors and talked to people in my referral network or friends because I don't have a brochure done yet or a business card. And to me, that's just it's all excuses. And I've been fortunate that I've never really worried about that stuff. My whole life has been just run and do it later. Go sell something when you get done doing it. I got a client right now that I sold something to. Like, he's a current client, but I sold him something last week on upcharge. It's not even a restaurant, and I don't even know how to do it. But you know what? I'll spend tonight about an hour, and I'll pass off the Ashley tomorrow, and we'll launch it, and it'll be good. So taking action is really big. And so through the process, I found that we needed to change the ROI engine local agency program. Notice it's called the local agency program because everybody thinks it's a restaurant marketing program. Yes, the back of it is a very robust. If you want to use it for restaurants, it's badass. But I think, Spencer, you've been in there. Can you use this for a chiropractor, a gym, a massage therapist, a hair salon? Anybody needs business. I mean, it's three basic things. You're using marketing to get attention. You're using attention to grow engagement. That engagement grows a database, and then that database drives sales. So I guess that's technically four. Attention, engagement, database, sales. That's the concept of building it. And that's what the ROI engine local agency program is about. Well, in that process, this past month or two, I had been thinking about this for about 6 months. I never made the switch to do it. But this past month or two, I had a chance to talk to about 50 different agencies that aren't at the level of, number one, financially being able to spend upwards of $2,000 to $3,000, which I get. Trust me, when I started my process of looking at courses years ago, my first course with Billy was $5,500, and you would have thought I was giving my kid away. And I was making six figures, but I was cheap as shit, didn't understand investing in myself, never comprehended buying education for myself, and didn't know that existed. So I didn't want to let go of the money. And if I wasn't making six figures, I would have probably had to charge on a credit card, and that would have been more painful for me because Matt has proven not to be responsible with credit cards, and probably still be a balance on there. And truth. So when I started this process this past couple of months of redoing the engine, the agency program, I really thought deep and said, man, I want to offer something a little deeper for people, or a little, I guess, more appealing to people that didn't make them have to go all the way into the program. Because the second part I found is there's a lot of stuff. Is there a lot of stuff in there, Spencer?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a shit ton. I mean,
I've been in a year and I have like 40% of the stuff.
Yeah. So Spencer said he's been in the program for a year. He's been through 40% of the training modules. And what happened to me was in Mexico over Christmas. I went to Mexico for like a week and a half with my family. And I was down there by the water on my iPad going to the membership site. And I was looking at all of it. I'm like, man, if I'm a newer person and I come into this, I'm like, okay, I got to learn how to sell. I need to learn how to find clients. How do I market myself? What am I actually doing? What am I selling these people? I got to figure out what I'm selling them and then how to do it. And then on top of all that, I got to know how to manage it all and how to build it to scale. And I realized that was a lot of stuff. So what we're going to talk about today is pretty simple. And by the way, there's no hardcore call to action at the end of this. There's a call to action. There's no landing page to go sign up. You're going to private message me. We're going to have a conversation to make sure you're a good fit for it. Because my goal is to take on a very limited number of people in these three betas because I want to make sure it's done right. I don't want 50 people in each one. I want a very limited number. So if you're interested along this process, you just hit the private message me or email me, matt@mattplapp.com, or you can private message me on the page. It's got the MP, the orange MP up here is my logo, my public figure page. Or you can private message me personally if you're connecting me on Facebook, or hell, go to LinkedIn and message me. I don't give a shit. Wherever you want to find me, find me. So we're going to cover four things today. Number one, and these are the problems that your business has. And I know they have it because you've all told me. And my agency, for the most part, had them at one point. Number one, the biggest problem is finding clients. At the end of the day, if you can't find somebody to pay you, Jordan over here works in human resources and recruiting, right?
Yep.
If you can't hire somebody, you can't do your job.
Correct.
Well, in our business, if I can't find a client that wants to pay me to help them get people in their business, I can't do my job. The second problem, which is a piggyback off of the first problem, is the reason you can't find clients is your marketing sucks, which is ironic as hell because we are a marketing agency. The number of people that I've trained that don't practice what they preach to their clients is comical. The fact that You aren't out there doing the things to get visible. At the end of the day, the reason people do not do business with other businesses is, to some extent, they were not invited. It doesn't mean that just because Jordan didn't go to Braxton Brewery and try the Grader's ice cream beer, which I think you said you don't like, right?
No.
You didn't like it. So just because Jordan didn't go to Braxton doesn't mean they didn't intentionally not invite him. It's just because the brand wasn't exposed to him enough with a compelling enough reason to go there when he was back home and often enough. Well, the reason your restaurants or car dealerships or chiropractors aren't knocking down your door, reason friends of yours aren't referring you often enough, is because your marketing sucks. You're not inviting people to have a conversation with you. You're not visible enough. The next part, and this is a really big one, I hear a lot of people are hesitant to go out and grow their business because they don't have the systems in place to build it. You know what? You think the Mayans building the Mayans ruins waited till the damn architecture drawings were done? Hell no. I think the aliens that built our pyramids, because I don't think those were built by humans, by the way. Those are some giant ass pyramids. See how wacko my webinars can get?
You going with aliens on that?
Well, aliens, I don't know. I think the pyramids were built by somebody else. But I'm gonna bet you there weren't like zoning permits done. Like they're like, hey Joe, we're gonna build a pyramid over here. We need a permit. Agencies all too often do not sell something out of the fear that they don't have the things in the back of to do it. Go do it, fix it later. And last but not least, one of the things most of you struggle with, and I did this big time, Matt Plapp never had a program to sell until 2016 when I realized on complete accident that I had created the ROI Engine restaurant program. And I realized on accident when a guy came to me who owned a restaurant and said, hey, that thing you're doing for Hofbrauhaus, Pittsburgh, and Newport and Columbus, can you do it for my restaurant? I'm like, what do you mean? Well, that thing you're doing that they said is killing it, like that whole get people from Facebook thing. And I'm like, well, I don't know. You're not my client. It's like, well, how do I become your client? I'm like, I don't want any more clients. I want to buy that program. Well, guess what? That's how Matt's first program came up, a complete freaking accident. So what are we going to talk about? So here's the problems. The four things that to me lead from these items: finding clients, your marketing, building systems of scale, and programs you can sell, are these four words: know, action, belief, main excuse. Number one, know. Not enough people know you. I can look at my calendar, and I'll actually do it right now. And I'll go back and just walk you through the people that I've met with over the past week and talk about how I found them and how they found me, more importantly. So Saturday, I met with a guy who owns a restaurant of all places in Germany, in Dusseldorf, which is even funnier because the brewmaster of Hofbrauhaus Columbus, who used to work here, lives back there, is from Dusseldorf. But I met with him. And how did he find me? He found me through me interacting on a Facebook group. He owns a restaurant, by the way. Liked my content because it wasn't selling. He started following my Facebook page. From my Facebook page, he set up a meeting with me. He's becoming a client. So I go to Friday, the 17th. I met with a 5-location restaurant owner in Cincinnati. How did he find me? He found me because John Bessler, who works out at my gym, referred him to me. John's in a CEO roundtable with the guy that owns this company. He's a CEO of a different type of business. And he said, hey, JF, I got a buddy that wrote a book on restaurant marketing. You own 5 restaurants. You two should probably meet. He made a personal introduction on a phone call and a text message. JF and I have met numerous times. They will be a client this week. I met with a guy named Jazz after that who found us through YouTube videos. Later on that day, at 4 p.m., I got a credit card from a guy named Harry who owns a pizza place an hour south of where I'm at right now. And here's how the conversation went. 5 minutes in, he goes, hey, Matt, let's just cut to the chase. You were referred to me by my son. You were referred to my son by Mike Arce. Mike Arce is the best fitness marketer in the world. My son looks up to him more than anything. Mike told him you were the #1 restaurant marketer. I don't need a sales pitch. Here's my credit card. Is that what you need? And just tell me what I owe you, and then we can go over the program next week when you come, because I'm going to come by and have pizza. Done deal. That was a referral from another marketing company. How does Mike Arce know that I am a restaurant marketer? because I constantly talk about it online. I constantly put things out there, and I'm very not salesy. It's educational. It's a referral. I had let's see on here. That was Thursday. I had a meeting on Thursday at 4:00 with a guy who owns a cookie dough ice cream parlor, which, by the way, you ever had that over in Pendleton?
Yeah, it's good.
Unbelievable. I met with that guy. This stuff's like unbelievable.
Yeah.
So met with him. How does he know me? A referral from my bookkeeper. And I'm just going to go back a couple more times and show you this because it works. The day before that, let's see, I was useless that day, it looks like. On Tuesday, I met with a place called Elk Creek. Barry met me because a guy named Mike Nye, who is a trainer at a gym down the street from mine, who does CrossFit comps at our gym, who I'm friends with, shared one of my videos a year ago. He's a restaurant owner. He liked the video. He started following me. 2 weeks ago, I did a video on Flip Daddy's Burgers going out of business. You guys see that video?
Yep.
This guy saw it too. And this guy said, Matt, that's why I called you. It resonated with me because I have a restaurant. I don't want to go out of business. I used to live in Union, and I agree with everything you said about them not being very good at marketing. And by the way, you missed that their service sucked. Different point. Right there. So I just walked you through a handful of reasons. I have referrals and clients, bless you, on the books this past week. They know me. If you look at the definition of know, which is what's underneath that box, they have developed a relationship with someone through meeting and spending time with them, be familiar or friendly with. Barry spent a lot of time with my Facebook videos. How do I know that? When we were having the conversation, he was quoting things to me from deep in the videos. One of the reasons I sometimes do 15 to 20-minute videos is I'll drop examples in there. And I drop examples in there because when I have conversations with people, this you might think I'm crazy, I remember these things because there's two people I follow on the internet. Doug, who are the two people I follow? Billie Jean and who? Nope. Who do I follow? Who's the number one person whose videos I watch every day besides Billie Jean? He's sitting in front of you. I watch my own videos.
Oh, yeah, you. Okay.
I'm so egotistical, I fucking follow myself. But why do I do it? Because one, I believe in myself. Two, I understand that I know exactly what I'm saying. But three, I want to memorize every video I've ever done. Some of them I listen to 2 or 3 times a day after I do them. Because I want to know what hooks I dropped in there to when guys like Barry will call me and have a meeting. And I go, oh, that dude watched some videos because the only way he found that stuff out was to know that stuff. Like the other day, my neighbor, we're in the process of buying a house. And my neighbor who I came over to my house yesterday for the football games, he mentioned something to me, how he knew what house I was buying by a comment my dad said later in the video, which means my neighbor watched the video. At some point, he'll refer me. So that's a big point right there. Is number one, the reason most of you aren't as successful as you could be, or maybe you're not successful at all, I don't know, is not enough people know you. I'll give you a good example. I'll pick on Spencer, who's sitting over here. Spencer can sell. Spencer knows the program, and Spencer knows marketing. Spencer, what have you sucked at the last year? Marketing. He's good on video. He goes in and out. He's like, a friend of yours that's got a drinking problem, becomes sober every 4 months, but eventually goes back. Spencer has a video problem that he eventually comes back. He's on a good streak right now, and he's killing it. He's good on video. He needs more people to know him. The more people that know him, the more people will like him. The more people that like him, the more people that will trust him and they will buy from him. That leads to the next thing, action. What was Spencer lacking on getting people to know him? Taking action on recording videos, taking action on going to BNI. You went to 7 last week? 7. Taking action is the process or state of acting or of being active, something done or performed, act, deed. The biggest reason people don't take action is they don't believe in themselves. George, you watched football game yesterday?
Yep.
The running back for the 49ers, was it?
Mozart,
How many yards?
had over 200.
And had you ever heard of him? And you're a pretty big sports fan. You probably knew him,
I
right?
knew him from this year, yes.
Did you know he could do 200 yards?
No.
Do you know how many carries he had 2 years ago?
No.
3 in a season. The dude rocked out 4 touchdowns, 220 yards in is that the NFC Championship game?
Yep.
That guy should have given up on himself 3 or 4 years ago. Most of these guys do. But you know what he had? He had belief. You know what he did? He took action and he trained for that one time. And that's the biggest problem why most of you are not selling enough in your agency. You're not taking enough action to get 220 yards. Does that make sense? Yeah. I had a guy back in June who I think is pretty awesome. He's in our program. I won't mention his name. But he was disappointed that he had a bad May. And he's like, man, I didn't close any deals. I'm like, well, that's not a good week. That's not a good month. I said, how many people did you ask for money? How many people did you say, here's how to do business? He said 3. I said, you want the truth? He goes, yeah. I go, number 1, you're not that good of a salesman. So in order for you to close 1 or 2 deals, you got to ask 10 people. Matt Plapp asked 3, I'll get 3. Probably 2.5 sometimes. You're not asking enough people. He's not asking enough people because he didn't take enough action. He didn't take enough action. I don't know why. Maybe he's lazy. I don't know. Maybe he got tired. Maybe he didn't believe in himself. That leads me to the next part, belief. Trust, faith, or confidence in someone or something. If you don't believe in yourself, why should your clients? And if you don't believe in yourself enough to take action, then nobody's ever going to know you. And that leads me to my last point, the main excuse. An excuse is an attempt to lessen the blame attaching to a fault or offense, seek to defend or justify. Oh, but Matt, I can't do video. I don't have a good microphone. Oh, I can't go do B&I meetings because I work a day job. Oh, Matt, I can't stop by restaurants because I don't eat food or drink water or do anything. I'm a human that lives on nothing. Every one of you and everybody I talk to, even probably people on my own team, even Matt Plapp has excuses. You've got to find a way to, one, lessen your excuse. And you do it, in my opinion, by believing in yourself and believing you're awesome. I have no issue. I was talking to a friend of mine Saturday who's also my accountant. And we were talking about the finances this year and next year and my goals. I said, dude, it's hard because I have a hard time not spending money on things I want now because I 100% believe I am the best out there. I believe within 10 to 15 years, I can be where Gary Vee is. I know I'm that good. So if I believe in myself, action's not hard. If action's not hard, becoming known's not hard. Quick question, Doug, what does it cost to put a YouTube video up?
0.
Luis, how much does it cost to do a Facebook video?
0.
Spencer, how much does it cost to post a video on LinkedIn? And Jordan, because you post awesome pictures of people on their birthdays that aren't actually the people in the pictures, how much does Facebook charge you to make those posts?
Absolutely not.
Nothing. All of the shit we have to use for free is comical. And none of y'all are using it. So, right here, this is my know and no funnel. Meaning this is the number of people that know you and the number of people that have told you no. This is what made me all of my money selling radio advertising. My dad taught me, Matt, your goal every month is to make people know you that have the ability to tell you yes. And then hopefully, you got to find the heater in this place, Spencer. We might die. It's so cold in here. Fucking Florida, and I'm freezing.
Like the office.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, put a heater on, bro. You got a winter jacket on. Sorry, people. We're in Florida. It's like 40 degrees. It's like snowing, I think. I'm talking to Al Gore and Trump.
It's cold. I've been here for a
Yeah.
year. And it's cold.
I mean, I blame Al Gore and Trump.
Of course it is.
So my dad told me, Matt, your goal each month is you need to get people to tell you no. That sounds weird. But you know what? If you ask 8 people and 2 tell you yes, that means that those 6 no's actually helped you get there. The guy that ran for 220 yards yesterday, had he run for a bunch of yards every game, he probably wouldn't have been as hungry yesterday. There's a guy named Rich Froning that I think won the CrossFit Games 4 years in a row, and then his team won it 2 years in a row, maybe 3. He openly credits his first time ever doing the CrossFit Games and losing because he couldn't climb a rope. He said, had I climbed that rope and won, I would have never competed in CrossFit again. That rope told him no. He came back and won 4 times. You have to do enough activity that you have enough people that know you and then tell you no. You look at month 1. If you have 80 people you want to contact and 40 of them turn out to be decent people and 20 of them you warm up with a letter in the mail, dropping by, shaking their hand, a referral, 12 of those 80 you eventually get to meet with. 8 of those 12 you get to ask for money, and 2 tell you yes. You just closed 2 deals, but guess what? It took 80 people to get you to 2. Well, guess what's great? When you go to month 2, those leads still exist. Those prospects still exist. Those warm people still exist. Those appointments are great. They know you better than anybody. The people that pitched gave you the chance. And so now that just adds. So in month 2, you look at the top, you got 80 leads and you pull 40 from the prior month. You take those 40 prospects, you pull 20 to the next month. So you can see your numbers go up. If you do this, if you believe in yourself and if you take enough action, in 12 months, you'll have so many people that have told you no that you've met with that are warm to you that will just say yes to get you to quit calling them. Betsy Koval from First Financial Bank in Hamilton, Ohio, bought something from me back in 2001. She said, Matt, I'm going to buy something from you because you will not quit calling me. And every time you call me, you send me a postcard in the mail with your business card. I have 20 of your cards. If I buy something, will you quit sending me your business card? I said, hell yeah. She bought something. So why am I telling you all this? Because what I've done, and this is the last slide, and this is the finale that me and Jordan are going to hang out and eat food, and he'll drink beers, I'll drink Red Bulls, is I've decided to break the ROI Engine local agency program out. Meaning, you can't get the agency programs that we have, those 17 programs, unless you join the program for $2,250 and $99 a month, or coming in February, $3,000 plus. I haven't finalized the exact price yet. I'm working on something. But you can join one of the 3. What's up, David?
Hey, what's going on?
Another mastermind show up. I'm in a mobile webinar. Hey, you're good. So the thing I've done is I've decided to break the program out. Number one, all 3 of these, 2 of these 3 are going to be betas. The Agency Accelerator happens every week like clockwork. The Becoming an ROI Expert is my free group, my free program. That is going away. That is going to be paid. There's going to be a new version of that. The one that's in there is going to be, there's a lot of that stuff's kept and moved to a different place, so it'll be free. But the new stuff coming out is not going to be free. That is going to teach you the skill set of how to become an agency, how to become known. Because I've broken these 3 things out in 3 ways. Number one, the first part, becoming an ROI expert, is how to start an agency and how to become known. The second part, ROI Experts Agency Accelerator, is how do I find clients? And then the RGA Hurricane is a turnkey marketing solution for your agency. Now, what I found out, the reason I separated these is it's tough for people to do all 3 of these plus the ROI Engine program. So I decided I'm going to break them out so that people can join one, conquer it in 30 to 60 days, add on the second one, conquer it in 30 to 60 days, add on the third one. At the end of the time, you'll have paid basically the same amount, but you won't have had to digest everything. The old saying of eating an apple in one bite, or, was it eating an elephant with one bite or some shit like that? So don't eat an elephant to begin with, but if you could, can't eat an elephant with one bite unless you're Godzilla. So what we're going to do in this program is, number one, coming in February, any of the programs are going to be $7.99 plus $29 a month. You only pay the $29 once. You pay your $7.99 and you get access ongoing, because it always gets updated and new stuff. Or you can buy 2 of them for $12.50. There's not a 3 because I think 3 is too many. The beta for this is going to be $500 per module, or $29 and $29 a month. But as I said again, and look at that, I spelled program wrong there at the end. Program. You need to private message me to get the link, and I won't get to it tonight. It'll be late tonight or tomorrow. But the concept here is that you'll be able to pick one of these. Which one is the best for you? That's why I want you to message me, because I don't want you just to click a link and go. I want to have a conversation, whether it's a phone call or an email or a message or a text. I want to understand where you're at and why, and what you think you need to help with, and also based on my expertise, what you probably need to help with. And as I said, the Becoming an ROI Expert is going to be a beta. There's going to be a weekly call. There's going to be support. The Agency Accelerator, there already is a weekly call. There already is support. It's badass. It's proven, killing it. Hey, Spencer, how good is the RGA manual, the guide?
Oh, very good.
Very good. Has that helped you shape your activity?
Yeah, it built my business plan.
Okay. built this business plan. See, Agency Accelerator is gold. The RGA Hurricane is one of my most powerful things I've ever created from a marketing standpoint. That guarantees putting you in front of people. That is developed, but I'm relaunching it with a beta so that we can have really more in-depth conversations about different industries. On top of all this, any of these you join, I have built out in high level and a mini chat some turnkey marketing programs with a very small dashboard, not the crazy ROI engine dashboard, a smaller one that you will get included. Meaning you join the Becoming an ROI Expert this next week or two, as long as it's beta for $500 and $29 a month, you'll get the Becoming an ROI Expert program, the weekly webinar, the support. You'll get the new things coming up, and as well as you'll get a turnkey product that you can have built for you. Literally, we're going to give it to you. You customize it a little. We teach you how to use it, and you go knock on doors and close some deals. And these items we're giving you have brochures, business cards, demos. It's turnkey, meaning you can walk your ass out the door, go knock on somebody's door that needs business, and show them something you have to help them. Agency Accelerator, same thing. That's how to find clients for your business. That's how to use LinkedIn, how to use Facebook, how to use Messenger, how to do cold calls, how to use BNI, how to do videos. And by the way, the Becoming an ROI Expert is going to have a part in there for how to use video. That's going to be a big part of it. Learn how to become like what Matt Plapp is. Learn how to become what has changed me the last couple of years, because 4 years ago, yes, I had a successful agency, but nobody knew me except for Cincinnati. Now that's not the case. And we're going to teach that in there. Agency Accelerator, you'll get a turnkey product. Exact same thing. Something you can take, walk indoors, shake hands, kiss babies, and say, here you go. I can help you. And last but not least, the RGA Hurricane has a crazy, awesome turnkey product that will not have anybody telling you no, they don't want to talk to you. And it's all ready to go. So that's all I got. It's simple. There's no link. There's no buy now or you suck, or buy now or you lose money. I read one the other day, Spencer. This guy said, and it was actually a decent product. It was $2,500, but if you wait till tomorrow, it's $5,000. I'm like, what happens tomorrow? Like, did Chevy raise the price? So that's the program. These are all three going to be $799. And there's going to be a landing page coming out. It's almost done. I guess I could show it to you real quick. I don't even know if the buttons on here work. Don't go to it and buy it because the prices are different. But you can see Expert, Agency, RGA. This is my normal program. You scroll down. It's like, hey, just select the module that's right for you. You come here. I got to shoot these videos. They're done. It's not completely. You can see there's a placeholder here. But it has everything that's included in it. And that's what we're doing. So I'm going to turn my camera on. It's probably a little darker in here than it was. Let me turn the lights on. Hold on. All outside lights. So it's brighter outside. Holy shit. Turn the fan on. Never mind. I don't know which one the fan is. So if you got a question, let me know. Because me and my boy, Jay Flay, are going to go get some food and drinks and whatever. Check the chat. And again, like I said, there's no link to click to message me. Eric says, love Gary V. Gary V is solid. Yeah, that's good. Okay, got something there. Question over here. Is the ROI engine bot within any of these? The RGA Hurricane. Mainly, no, it's not. The ROI engine bot is actually 17 bots. The ROI engine local agency program comes with 17 modules. What you might be thinking of is the acquisition engine. One of our biggest programs. No, that's not in here. That is in the full program. The RGA Hurricane, the turnkey product that comes with that, ties in with that marketing program that's tied to that whole thing. It's pretty badass. But no, it's not the RGA, what we call the acquisition engine. So I answered that. And I'm going to cover this once I get these videos done. I'll pop them in the landing page and I'll put those out there. But if you're interested in any of this, just private message me. That way I know you're interested. Do I have a program for hotels? I don't have a program for anything. It's good for anything. I mean, think about it. Let's look at Spencer. Spencer has shoes on. Spencer probably saw marketing. Spencer probably went in there and bought shoes. The same marketing works for anything. So we say like features that they want. It all depends. You can develop it. So, I mean, like my restaurant program, for example, I've got people running my exact, what we call the acquisition engine, the startup and the 4 products are running the exact same thing for hair salons, home goods stores, restaurants, hotels, salons, day spas, massage clinics. At the end of the day, it's how do I use marketing to get somebody into Messenger to give me their information? First name, last name, email, phone number, birthday. And then what do I do with that data? So, no, do I have something specifically to hotels? No, I have stuff that's specifically to consumers. And consumers consume everything, except in this case, we consumed an Airbnb, not a hotel. The problem is hotels don't have reoccurring business. I go to hotels all the time. Has anybody ever stayed in the same hotel twice? Yeah, I stay in the same hotels all the time. The problem is hotels do not do predictive marketing and say, hey, Matt Plapp has come to our hotel every spring in April. I wonder why he's coming in spring and April. Oh, spring break. I wonder if these schools have spring break every year. They do. So it's not the fact that they don't have it. It's the fact they haven't been presented it. Paul, first, great content. Thanks for having me. My main question is, can I run this business as a seasoned sales professional by going out and signing multiple clients and then outsourcing from day one? Yeah. If you have a partner you trust, you can, yes. I've actually got agencies that are in my full-blown program that do nothing on their own. They pay us to do it. They just sell. They came in, they got trained, they have a deep understanding. Doug, do you build anything?
Do I build anything?
Yeah. Do you know how to turn your computer on?
I can barely do that.
Kind of. So that guy right there does exactly what you just described. Doug does not build anything. Yes, he's my director of sales, but at the end of the day, Doug is pretty much almost like a standalone agency. Just remind me, I got to pay you today because I was supposed to pay you Friday and you left early. Don't let me forget. He has a tendency of not reminding me, and then I owe him 2 checks, and I hate giving him 2 checks. It's just painful. It's like paying my wife twice for stuff. I'm just kidding.
Wait.
So, yes, it can work well with that. There we go. So you're saying each module will have something like, yeah, mailing. So each module will have something turnkey to it that you can go out and create revenue with. Eric said, oops. I don't know what that means. Hope you didn't have an oops. That sounds personal. Okay, cool. Well, I'm done yipping. I'm going out. If you guys got any questions, hit me up. Facebook Messenger, email, whatever, text, shoot me it. Let me know. I'll get back with you. We'll have a private conversation. That's going to fill up. It's going to be limited supply. This replay will be posted online. Be 1 million people looking at it. No, I'm just kidding. It won't be 1 million. Maybe 10 million. What would Trump say? Like 1 billion?
Something like that.
Billion's huge, huge. So that's all I got. Adios. See you later.
You know,